So let's start. So last time on Monday, we start with the elasticity. Okay, and so mathematically, so we have defined elasticity as we define the elasticity as the percentage change in quantity demanded divided by percentage change in price. Okay, so this triangle means change. Okay, and it is always quantity final minus quantity initial. Of course, here it is quantity price final minus price initial, and this percentage actually coming from dividing it by price initial and dividing it by quantity initial here. And if you do the math here, it will be delta Q over delta P times P initial divided by Q initial. Okay, so this is the QF minus QI, and this is PF minus PI. Okay, so we can describe this formula by using derivatives. Okay, so the elasticity will be the derivative of the demand with respect to the price itself times the price initial divided by quantity initial. Okay. For example, so if you have a linear demand function, okay, let's say that 15 minus 2p, okay, so the graph of this linear demand function is as follows. Okay, so it is intersecting with the vertical axis, okay, at 15 over 2, and intersecting with the horizontal axis at 15. And if you would like to find the price, for example, let's say if price is 6, okay, what is the corresponding quantity level? Sorry. If price is 6, what is the corresponding quantity level? What is the quantity level? It is 3. Okay, so if you would like to find the elasticity, okay, at this point, then it is, okay, so the derivative of the demand with respect to price. Okay, what is the derivative of demand with respect to price? It is dq over dp is equal to, what is the derivative here? Come on, guys. It is minus 2, yes. So minus 2 times, so what I will be using for P, the price level, which is 6, and what I will be using for the quantity, it is a corresponding quantity level, it is 3. So the elasticity at that point is, what is that? Minus 4. Okay. So the elasticity is not all the same on this graph, okay, on this line, okay. Elasticity changes along the demand curve. Okay, So let's do one more example here. Okay, so let's say that we are looking for the elasticity at where the price is 3. I need to find the corresponding quantity level, which is 9. Okay, do I make any mistake? No. So if we are looking for elasticity at p is equal to 3 and q is equal to 9, okay, I will be using the same formula, okay, dq over dp times p over q, okay. Here I will use p as 3 and q as 9. I need to find the dq over dp. So I have already did it, so the derivative does not change among the graph. It is -2 times what is price 3, what is quantity 9. It will be -6 over 9, which is -2 over 3. Okay. Any questions so far? No. Okay. So let us do one more thing for us as a reminder. Okay, so let me try to draw the graph as large as possible. So we are looking for elasticity at a fixed point. Okay, so let's say this is a fixed point. Okay, and let's say this is okay. So this is demand 1 and this is demand 2. Okay, and as you can see that, okay, so it is passing through the same point, okay, and P and Q. So which line, okay, which curve, okay, this is a very silly question, but just to make sure that you understand everything, which curve is flatter, which curve is flatter? D2 is flatter, right? So why it is important here? Okay, so let's say that so our price has increased, or we are always looking for an increased price. So let's say that our price has decreased to, so this is price level initial P1, Q1, okay? Suppose that our price level has decreased to P2, okay? I will find the corresponding quantity levels, okay? So this will be Q2 for demand 1, and this is Q2 2. Okay, so basically under which curve we observe higher effect on quantity demanded, which person's quantity is demanded more from this price change? Okay, so let's think about it again. So for the first curve, okay, this is the quantity demand change, okay. So this is delta Q for the first curve, okay. That is Q12 minus Q1, and this is delta Q change for the second one, delta Q22 minus Q1, okay. So can everyone see that? So the individual with the first, so the second curve is affected more. Good. Okay. So which means that the flatter the demand curve okay, so remember which one is flatter, the second one, the more elastic it is. Exactly. So it is the key point here. Okay. So of course, so we are looking, so we are saying that so they are intersecting at this one point, okay, and we are looking for the demand elasticity at that point, okay, and the elasticity is basically how much it is affected, okay. If the quantity demanding is affected more, okay, it means that it is more elastic. Here, as you can see that so the flatter the curve, okay, the more affected we observe, and which means that it will be more elastic, okay. In fact, okay, here, so which curve has higher slope? Which curve slope is more in absolute term? Come on, guys. So which curve has higher slope, larger slope? Let's think about it. Okay, so how do we define the slope? So I'm asking in absolute term, of course. Okay. So the slope here is, if we say this is y, this is x, okay, slope is y over x, okay. Of course, so due to the direction of this curve, it will be always minus, okay. So what about these two curves? Okay, so which one has higher slope than? It will be d1, okay. So the steeper the demand curve, the higher slope in absolute value, okay. And the relation between the slope and the derivative is basically 1 over slope is equal to 1 over, sorry, 1 over slope is equal to dq over dp, okay. So basically, if the slope increases, okay, then this derivative decreases. Okay. Any question? No question. Okay. So let's continue. Okay. So what we have done so far is basically, so we look at price elasticity of demand. Okay. But if you remember, okay, so if we would like to write the demand function, so it is not just a function of its own price, okay, so it is also affected with the price of the other goods, and it's also affected by your income. Okay, and we also would like, we are also interested in how change in income affect the quantity demanded. Okay, so mathematically we will do exactly the same thing, okay, as we did for the price elasticity. The only difference will be, so we will be looking for the effect on the change in the income. Okay, and we are defining the income elasticity as follows: percentage change in quantity demanded divided by percentage change in income. Okay, if I write this mathematically, okay, so the percentage change in quantity demanded is QF minus Q initial divided by Q initial. So the percentage change in income is income final minus income initial divided by income initial. Okay. So let me ask you a question, whether you, to understand you are following the class. So what does this F stands for? Hadi arkadaşlar cevap verin. F neye karşılık geliyor burada? Sadece takip ettiğinizi görmek istiyorum. Exactly. So the F stands for final here. Okay. So QF quantity final. So why do we say it's final? Because we are changing exactly. So the last quantity. Okay, the final quantity. Okay, so or you can say that quantity when income increases or income moves to YF. Okay, and Y stands for income here. Okay, so we have already explained. So if I write this part clearly, okay, then we have delta Q. Okay, so this numerator, it is delta Q over Q initial times Y initial over delta Y. Okay, if I do the arrangement here, delta Q over delta Y is equal to Y initial over Q initial. Okay, and if I write this by using the derivatives, it will be the derivative of the demand function with respect to income times the income level that we are interested in and divided by the corresponding quantity level. Okay. So let's think about the sign of this income elasticity. Okay. So if we rewrite the demand function that we are interested in, okay, so A minus BP plus C times the other good plus D times income. Okay. So if we are interested on this linear demand function, okay, what is dq over dy? What is that? Come on. So we are taking the derivative with respect to income, just income. Okay, so we forget about all the other terms. We are just taking the derivative with respect to income. Okay, so yes, it will be D. Okay, so if we are thinking about a normal good, okay, so basically usually, okay, so what happens when income increases? Okay, so what happens when the quantity demand when income increases? What is the effect usually? Bugün birazcık takıldık sanırım. Ya ben biraz yavaşım ya da birazcık takıldık. Hadi let's think about it, okay? Yes, exactly. Okay, so the quantity will also increase. Okay, so if you are just thinking about if your income increases, okay, the number of the cars that you would like to have will increase. Okay, the number of the house that you would like to have will increase. Okay, the number of the drinks that you can drink can increase. Okay, so whatever the item that you are thinking about, okay, so the increase in the income will have a positive effect on the quantity demand. Okay, so this will cause the quantity demanded increase. Okay, so then usually the sign of this D is greater than 0. Okay, then what about, okay, so this term is greater than 0. What about this term? Can it be less than 0? Can y over q be less than 0? you will always, yes, only if income is negative, but so we will be usually assuming that, okay, so your income will be always non-negative, okay, so which means that this term is always positive, okay, so which implies that income elasticity is always greater than 0. Okay, so just opposite of the price elasticity. Okay, so recall that price elasticity always less than or equal to 0. Bir dakika duralım burada. Bir sorusu olan var mı? So do you have any question? Şimdi ne yapacağız biliyor musunuz? So what I will do is, so I would like to just hear your voice. Okay, so there are 21 participants including myself. Okay, for 1 minute. Okay, so I will just ask, say me hello. Okay, and you will say hello. Okay, I will start from this list, and I just want to see that so you are a real human. Okay, so you are not just a robot or something like that. Okay. Batuhan orada mısın?
Hello.
Hello. Okay, perfect. Okay, if your mic does not work, so that's totally good. Okay. Okay. So Bilgin, are you there? Bilgin? No. Bora, are you there? Bora Tuncay? No. Boost. Okay, so basically, I just want to hear your voice. Okay, so I just want to make sure that, okay, so I'm giving this lecture to real humans. Okay, so just say hello. Okay, so just unmute yourself and just say hello. Bora?
Buradayım hocam.
Perfect. Buse, are you there?
Buradayım hocam.
Perfect. Çağdaş? Çağdaş Yılmaz? No. Cihan? Sarıbaş?
Buradayım hocam.
Perfect. Dijan?
Evet, merhaba.
Okay, perfect. Ege?
Hocam 2 tane Ege vardı, hangisiydi?
Tamam. Ege Cengiz konuştu sanırım. Ege Güven konuştu şimdi.
Buradayım hocam. Buradayım.
Perfect. Fuat? Muhtar?
Hello.
Perfect. Furkan?
Buradayım hocam.
Harun? Perfect.
Burada.
Osman?
Burada.
Okay. So Rahim told that so he has a problem with the microphone. Saat is here. Is Saat here?
Sir, are you saying Sadir Rahman? I'm here.
Perfect. Sinan is here.
Buradayım.
Tarık is here.
Hi sir.
Perfect. Yağız is here.
Buradayım.
Yusuf is here.
Burada.
Perfect. Okay, so this motivates me. Okay, so basically I don't want to give a course to Zoom. Okay, so to the real course. Okay, so as I said again, okay, so if you have any question, do not hesitate to unmute yourself and ask the question. Okay, so you can ask the question in Turkish, you can ask the question in English, it doesn't matter. Okay, so let's continue. So what we have done so far is basically, so we have looked at it for the elasticity, for price of the own goods, okay? So we look at the price of so elasticity of income, okay? And if you look at this formula, okay, one other thing is affecting the quantity demanded, okay? And it is the price of the other goods, okay? Then next we will be looking for the something that we call cross price elasticity, okay? And what we mean is basically, so if I rewrite this, the linear demand function, okay? So we are interested in how does the other affect, this is of course quantity demand, okay? How does P other affect quantity demand? Change in quantity demand, okay? And actually the logic will be the same, okay? So we are looking for the, okay, cross price elasticity, cross price elasticity, it will equal to the percentage change in quantity demanded divided by percentage change in price of the other goods. Okay, and if I write this formula, okay, more clear, it will be delta Q over delta P other times P other over Q. Okay, and I can write this by using the derivatives here, dq over P other times P other over Q. Okay, so the formula is always the same. Okay, and let's think about this derivative. Okay, so in this linear demand function, okay, what is dq over dp other? It is c. Okay, so it is the constant term c. So c here, okay, so can you have a guess on the sign of c? Okay, so does it always positive or negative? So what will it be? It can be negative. Okay, so it can be, let's say that it can be less than 0, or it can be greater than 0. Okay, so both cases are possible here. Okay, so let's think about when it can be less than 0. Okay, or what does it mean to have c less than 0? Okay, it means that as the price of other goods increases, okay, quantity demanded decreases. Okay, and when it is possible, when this is possible, is basically if the goods are complements. Okay, what can we think about the complementary goods as the following? Okay, for example, if you drink coffee with milk all the time, okay, then you can just think that if the price of milk increases, okay, so this will negatively affect your quantity demanded for coffee. Okay, coffee will Okay, if these two goods are complements, okay, then the change in the price of the other good, okay, will have a negative effect on the quantity demand. Okay, but if the goods are substitutes, okay, so it means that the price of the other goods, if it increases, quantity demanded increases. Okay, for the second case, and this is true for the if the goods are substitutes. Okay, for example, an example for this is coffee and tea. Okay, so if you like tea, coffee and tea the same, okay, so then if the change if the price of tea increases for some reason, then the quantity demanded for the coffee will increase. Okay, then basically, so we will turn back to this the complements and the substitutes. Okay, but if the goods are complements, then the cross price elasticity is always less than or equal to 0, and if the goods are substitutes, then the cross price elasticity is always greater or equal to 0. Okay, any question?
No, sir.
Perfect, perfect. So excellent. One more thing that we will do today is basically, so as you can see that, okay, we are somewhat repeating ourselves. Okay, so we have looked at the effect of the many different factors. Okay, the change in the many different factors on the quantity demand. Okay, and the formula that we have used for the sensitivity is always the same, but we need to be careful about the sign of those sensitivity. Okay, we will complete, or we will continue today with the one more thing, okay, which is the elasticity. So we have completed the demand. Okay, so do you have any guess at what we will look at next? Elasticity of what? We have done everything for demand. Then the next thing to do is elasticity of
Supply.
exactly. Okay, elasticity of supply. And we will be using similar things here. Okay. So basically, so if you remember the supply function, okay, it is almost the same, okay, but the difference here is basically, so here as price increases, okay, quantity supply increases, okay, so that is the one main thing. But if you would like to be if you would like to understand, so what is the exact effect of the change in the price, okay, we will be using supply elasticity, and we are denoting supply elasticity with this Greek letter eta. Okay, so it is a fancy n, and it is basically the percentage change in quantity supplied divided by percentage change in price. Okay, and if we rewrite the equation here, so it will be delta Q over Q divided by delta P over P, and it will be delta Q over delta P times Q over Q. Okay. Of course, here the Q is Q supply. Okay. And if you would like to write this formula in terms of derivatives, it will be delta Q supply over dP times Q over Q. Okay. So given this linear given this linear supply function, okay, what is the value of this term? What is dQ over dP? It is B, okay, B times Q over Q. So if we remind ourselves how does the supply curve looks like, okay, supply curve is something like this, increasing, okay, upward sloping, okay, so this is supply curve, okay. Then what is the sign of B here? Is B greater than or equal to 0, or it is less than or equal to 0? If we have this upward sloping supply curve, okay, as the price increases, the quantity supplied will increase, yes. Then what's the sign of B? It is always positive, okay. So then this term is positive, and this term is also positive. Then what does it tells us? The supply elasticity is always positive, okay. And so if you remember the terminology that we were using for the demand elasticity, okay, if supply elasticity is equal to 0, then we say that supply is perfectly inelastic. If supply elasticity is between 0 and 1, okay, then we say that it is inelastic. If it is equal to 1, it means that it is unitary elastic. If it is greater than 1 but less than infinity, then we say it is elastic. And if it is positive infinity, then we say that it is perfectly elastic. Okay, so we have used exactly the same terminology. Okay. So one last thing that we will do today, so I will try to solve one more example. Okay, but so let's see how the supply elasticity, okay, change over the supply curve. Suppose that we are looking for this supply curve. So this is P, this is Q. Good. So let's say that we are interested in the supply elasticity. Okay, at this point, let's say this is X1 and this is X2. Okay, so we are interested in the supply elasticity at X1, and we are also interested in the supply elasticity at X2. Okay, so which one? So do you think that they will be the same?
No.
No, why they are not the same? Okay, so let's remember what the supply elasticity is. It is dq over dp times q over sorry, p over q, right? Then what is so this derivative, okay, is the same, okay, for both curves, both points, okay, so it will be b for both of them. So here q1, this is p1, this is q2, this is p2, okay. Then the elasticity, supply elasticity for x1 is equal to p2 over q2, and this is equal to p1 over q1, okay. So which means that if they are the same, okay, if the elasticity at x1 is equal to elasticity at x2, then we need to have p2 over q2 is equal to p1 over q1, okay? And this will,
Did you write it wrong? Because I think P1 divided by
you are
Q1 is
you
going
are
to be
you are
X1.
you are exactly right. Okay, so I just mixed the indices. Thank you very much. Okay, excellent. Thank you. So I wrote it because I just want to see that whether you are following. Okay.
Okay.
I'm kidding. Okay, so that's my mistake. So actually, so then this is true if we have this relation. Okay, and I want you to see that. Okay, as a homework. Okay, but I will not grade this. Okay, so this will not be graded. Okay, so this is just a thought experiment for you. Okay, does this always hold? Okay, I just want you to think about this. Okay, so if we have a linear, why do I say demand? Okay, sorry for that, for linear supply. Okay, so I just want you to think about it. Okay, so whether we have always x1 equal to eta x1 equal to eta x2. Okay, so whether this is always the case. Okay, so this is the question, and I want you to think about it. Okay, any question? No question?
Do you want us to find a situation for
Exactly.
they are not
If that holds,
same?
or if it's a situation in which, so the answer is it doesn't, so this is not always the same. Okay, I want you to think about a situation where it is not the same. Okay,
Okay. Tamam.
so then let me just solve one example, okay, for the elasticity, and we will finish today's class. Okay, and it will be a very easy question. Okay, so it will just for the demonstration. Okay, so I know you have done the first part of this question. Okay, you can see the question, right? Can you see the question?
Yes.
Perfect. So you have done the first part of this question in the recitation. Okay, so but let me go over it again. Okay, so we are given a demand function here, and we are given some price levels, and all the price levels for the other goods and the income level. and we are asked for the in part A, okay, we are asked for the price elasticity. Okay, so let's remind what the price elasticity is. It is dq over dp times p over q. So from this linear demand function, we can find the dq over dp. What is dq over dp from this linear demand function?
-5.
It is -5. We already know what is p here. Okay, p is given to us. It is 80. Okay, and we don't know the exact value of the q. Okay, what we can find the exact value of q here by just plugging these values. It is 1001 minus 5 times 80 plus 10 times 50 minus 2 times 150 plus 0.1 times 20,000, so which will be 1,000 minus 400 plus 500 minus 300 plus 2,000. What is the answer? It is 3,000, 2,008. Okay, then I just plug in this value here. Okay, and I do the math, and whatever it is, that is the demand elasticity. Okay, so what about the second part? Okay, it is asking for the cross price elasticity with respect to the commodity X. Okay, and we do the same thing here. Okay, we take the dq over dpx times px times q. Okay, then what is dq over dpx?
10.
It is 10. 10 times, what is px? Px is equal to 50. And we already found the value for q. It is this guy. Okay, and if we do the math, so we will have 5 over 28. Okay, so the exact value is important here. Okay, but what is more important here is it is greater than 0. Okay, so what does it mean? If px increases, quantity demanded will also increase. Okay, so what kind of the good can those be? Okay, px and the x good and the good that we are looking for, are they complements or substitutes? Şimdi complement ne demekti? Türkçe açıklayayım burayı sana. Complement birbirlerini tamamlayıcı. Siz tamamlayıcı iki ürünü kullanıyorsanız hani birisini kullanmak için diğerini de kullanmanız gerekiyor değil mi?
O zaman complement oluyor hocam herhalde.
Okay. So I did something wrong. Okay, so let me take, so this is correct. But let's think about the price of one good is increasing, okay? And so let's make it more concrete, okay? I'm just looking for the demand for coffee, okay? And this price of good X is increasing, and my quantity demanded for coffee is also increasing, okay? So there should be some kind of a competition between them. Okay, so I either would like to buy some more eggs or I would like to buy more coffee. Okay, so this positive sign tells us that we are substituting good coffee with good eggs or good eggs with coffee. Okay, So whenever buying the other good becomes more expensive, okay, then I am trying to buy more coffee, okay, and these two goods are substitutes. Açık mı burası?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. Okay. Then on part C, it is asking exactly the same thing for good y. Okay. It will be dq over dty times py over q. So we are just looking for the derivative with respect to, sorry, it's easy. Sorry for that. I will accept. It is minus 2. Minus 2 times what is the price of z? It is 150. And we have find the quantity as 2,800. And if we do the math here, it will be 3 over 28 with the minus sign. Okay. So this means that as the price of goods C increases, the quantity demanded for coffee will decrease. Okay. So which means that you are consuming these two goods together. Okay. So which means that Z and coffee are complements. And the final thing is asking for the income elasticity. The sign in front of the income is 0.1. 0.1 times income is 20,000 divided by the quantity is this guy. And if we do the math, it will be 1 over 10 over 20. Okay, or 5 over 12. Okay. And what it means there, so if the income increases, okay, so your quantity might will also increase. Bugünlük bu kadar. So that is all for today. So do you have any question?
All clear, sir.
Perfect. So on Friday, okay, as I mentioned that we will have class, okay, so instead of the recitation, we will start at 5:40, and we will continue until 7:30. So we will have our regular class on Friday. And as I explained at the beginning, so I will be uploading this course material, and all your assignment plan is uploaded. And that's it for today. So if you don't have any questions. Perfect. Okay. So see you
Thank
on
you, sir.
Friday.
See you.
Bye bye.
Thank you hocam. See you.
Thank you.
See you.
Bye bye.